Hello, it's News Hour and we are reaching you live from our studio in Lagos. Coming up, Nigeria explores gas partnership with Argentina, NUPRC to boost oil and gas sector investment. Federal government launches nationwide recruitment for community managers in 3MTT program. Broadcom completes $69 billion VMware acquisition after regulatory green light. Oil prices slide 4% as OPEC Plus meeting postponed. Uncertainty surrounds production cuts. Thanks for joining us. I am Alfreda Ambe Bassi. The OPEC Plus ministerial meeting, originally set for Sunday in Vienna, has been rescheduled to Thursday, according to an announcement by the Vienna-based Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC. The meeting, where the 13 OPEC members led by Saudi Arabia and their 10 partners led by Russia were expected to decide on their output policy, caused a global crude price drop of about 4%. The postponement adds to concerns about slumping crude prices amid worries of a global economic slowdown and challenges in demand. And moving to the next story, in a significant development, 83 Nigerian scholars awarded Moroccan scholarships are set to depart Nigeria on November 23 and 24, 2023. The departure ceremony, presided over by the Honorable Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamam, took place at a pre-departure briefing in Abuja on Thursday. The scholars, trained in various disciplines under the bilateral education agreement for the 2023-2024 academic session, received valuable advice from the minister, urging them to be worthy ambassadors of Nigeria during their studies in Morocco. The first batch of scholars is scheduled to take off today, while the second batch will depart tomorrow. The minister highlighted that the scholars had successfully completed a mandatory 9-month French language training program, equipping them for their main academic courses in Morocco. The initiative, part of the Renewed Hope agenda, aims to support brilliant Nigerians, especially those unable to pursue programs not readily available in Nigeria. Despite global economic challenges, the minister emphasized the number of development partners offering scholarships to Nigeria has increased, fostering academic excellence and supporting the nation's development agenda. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has revealed plans for a potential gas exploration and production collaboration with Argentina as the country expresses interest in establishing business ties with Nigeria. This move is seen as a significant milestone for the NUPRC, attracting increased investments in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. The Argentinian ambassador to Nigeria, Mr. Alejandro Herrero, conveyed this eagerness to participate in gas exploration and production during his visit to the NUPRC. This interest aligns with the Nigeria's broader gas ambitions under the Decade of Gas initiative, as it aims to significantly increase its gas production to meet domestic needs and explore export opportunities to Europe. The chief executive of the commission, Engineer Gbenga Komolafe, assured the ambassador of the NUPRC's commitment to fortify Nigeria's oil and gas sector through robust regulations and policies, and also highlighted Nigeria's shift toward production sharing contracts and the upcoming auction of uncommitted gas fields as part of the commission's strategic initiatives, with a vision to achieving a daily gas production of 5.5 billion cubic feet by 2030. And away from that, in a significant move towards advancing technical talent across the nation, the federal government has initiated the recruitment process for community managers under its transformative 3 Million Technical Talent Program, 3MTT. The Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy officially announced this development, emphasizing the nationwide nature of the recruitment effort. The ministry plans to appoint 37 learning community managers who will play a crucial role in coordinating the activities of community members engaged in the 3MTT program. The Minister, Bosun Tijani, highlighted key responsibilities of the 3MTT community managers, which include leading, building, and maintaining the technical talent community within their respective states. These managers are tasked with animating and expanding the 3MTT community, developing strategies, metrics for success, and growth plans. Additionally, they will oversee the sourcing of resources and stakeholders to facilitate events, fostering a thriving environment for aspiring Nigerian technologists. The recruitment drive marks a pivotal moment in the government's commitment to nurturing a skilled workforce for the digital economy and fostering innovation across the country. This community serves as a hub for learners with full access to structured content and a supportive network of fellow learners. With the program's implementation designed in 3 phases, the government aims to train 30,000 individuals in the first phase, followed by 300,000 in the second, and ultimately reach 3 million in the third phase. The recruitment of community managers is a strategic step to ensure effective coordination and success at each stage of the program. And in a major business development, Broadcom successfully concluded its $69 billion acquisition of cloud computing firm VMware on Wednesday, marking the end of a months-long process. The deal, announced in May 2022, is one of the largest globally and reflects Broadcom's CEO Hock Tan's strategic efforts to enhance the chipmaker's software business. However, the transaction faced significant regulatory scrutiny worldwide, resulting in 3 delays to the closing date. The acquisition received crucial regulatory approval in China on Tuesday, alleviating concerns about the deal's completion before November 26 deadline. Ongoing tensions between China and the U.S., particularly regarding chip export control measures, had raised uncertainties among investors. The approval followed positive developments in the meeting between China's President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Joe Biden earlier in the month, contributing to a more favorable environment for the deal's closure. Despite facing rigorous regulatory reviews globally, including approvals from the European Commission and the UK's Competition and Market Authority, Broadcom's acquisition of VMware has now been finalized. The completion of this substantial deal may influence the landscape of future technology mergers. The regulatory pressure on significant tech mergers, exemplified by Microsoft's recent acquisition of Activision, has intensified, reflecting a broader trend addressed by the U.S. Federal Trade Commission under Chair Lina Khan. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, News Hour continues. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now, oil prices dropped by 4% on Wednesday as OPEC Plus producers unexpectedly deferred their output meeting. Brent crude futures dropped 4.1% to $79.06 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures fell 4.2% to $74.51. The sudden delay in the OPEC meeting involving major producers like Saudi Arabia and Russia raised concerns about future crude production cuts. The rescheduled OPEC meeting on November 30th from the initially set date of November 26th prompted questions about potential adjustments to existing supply limits until 2024. The unexpected delay, reportedly due to Saudi Arabia's discontent with other members' output numbers, heightened uncertainty, and analysts had anticipated discussions on extending or deepening oil supply cuts before the postponement. Oil benchmarks, Brent and WTI, sustained 4 weeks of decline amid rising supplies, demand worries, and economic slowdown fears. The unexpected meeting shift added tension to the market, with analysts emphasizing the pivotal role of OPEC decisions in shaping oil prices. The postponement introduces uncertainty, and analysts warn that decisions favoring a rollover of cuts could further impact oil prices in the coming days. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has signed a bill extending the retirement age for teachers employed by the state government to 65 years. The bill also extends the service year for teachers from 35 to 40 years. Governor Uzodinma highlighted that this decision aims to motivate teachers, enhance job security, and encourage effectiveness in their duties. The law is expected to bring a positive impact to the education sector in Imo State. And now Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has admonished 4,592 fresh graduates from the state skills acquisition centers to leverage the acquired knowledge on breaking the shackles of poverty. The graduation ceremony held at the Blue Roof Alausa Ikeja celebrated individuals trained in various vocations, including tailoring, bead making, catering, shoemaking, and carpentry. Governor Sanwo-Olu emphasized the importance of purposeful governance to create jobs and enhance the lives of citizens. Governor Sanwo-Olu further encouraged the graduates to be ambassadors of positive change by applying their newfound skills to improve their lives. The Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Mrs. Bolaji Cecilia Dada, also expressed joy over the success of the program, acknowledging Governor Sanwo-Olu's support in the initiative over the last 4 years. And in a significant development for Nigerian sports, the Honorable Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Onwa-Eno, has pledged to revamp the football scouting regulations in the country. This commitment comes in response to a proposal submitted by a delegation led by Uchendu Stephen Nwambara, the national president of Prestige Football Academy, during a meeting held in Abuja on Tuesday. Senator Eno, recognizing Nigeria's rich sports talent pool as a global attraction, expressed concerns about the current scouting practices. He emphasized the need for ethical standards, equity, and transparent opportunities for aspiring talents. The minister acknowledged the positive impact sports figures have on the nation and underscored the importance of addressing issues related to the departure of athletes from Nigeria. The proposed reforms aims to establish structured and fair scouting system, preventing the exploitation of Nigerian talent abroad. Senator Eno's commitment to a thorough review of the proposal signals a dedication to fostering a conducive environment for sports growth and development in Nigeria. The goal is to integrate principles of fair play, integrity, professionalism, and equal opportunities for all sports talents, particularly footballers, as the nation works towards transforming its scouting landscape. And the Court of Appeal in Abuja has affirmed the victory of Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, overturning the decision of the State Election Petition Tribunal. The tribunal, led by Justice Ezekiel Ajayi, has initially nullified Sule's win based on evidence from various polling units, asserting that David Omubagdu of the People's Democratic Party secured the majority of valid votes. However, in the appeal to the Court of Appeal, Justice Uchechukwu delivered a judgment expunging evidence and exhibits from specific witnesses, emphasizing that their statements were not front-loaded. The court highlighted the necessity, according to constitutional and electoral provisions, for written statements on oath to be timely filed. It further critiqued the tribunal's deduction of 1,868 votes from the governor's count, citing inadequate evidence of overvoting. Conclusively, the appellate court ruled in favor of Governor Sule, dismissing the tribunal's judgment as it set aside a majority order. This decision marks a significant legal milestone in upholding the democratic process and ensuring adherence to constitutional and electoral protocols. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, News Hour continues. Stay with us. And now the rate at which drugs and other substances are being abused have been of serious concerns globally. A report by the United Nations Office on Drug and Crime in Nigeria indicates that 14.4%, 14.3 million of people aged between 15 and 64 years abuse drugs. Reacting to this development earlier on a flagship program, Early Exchange, experts provided insight into the cause of substance abuse and the remedy.
One thing about human being is basically, over the years, is that we have tried to solve our problems. And sometimes we solve our problems with another problem, and then sometimes we solve our problems with a proper solution. The problem with addiction, it varies for so many reasons. Some people were trying to kill a pain. Some people were trying to escape a situation, and they found solace in drug abuse. However, some people, out of curiosity, started abusing drugs and stayed with it all through. So for various reasons, and some people started by, having a medication that was solving their problem, and from there they progressed to being addicted to that medication and abusing that medication. So for several reasons, people have sought after drugs, both recreative drug and medical drugs themselves, for prescription drugs, in order to solve a particular problem or satisfy a particular craving. And before they could, get a hold on the situation, they found themselves addicted to it.
Stigma can be seen or can be addressed in two ways. The first most important part of stigma you need to address is self-stigma. People stigmatize themselves, like, I cannot enter this place because. So the first thing you do is to build confidence in them, to say, okay, you were here, yes, but now you are here. And it's a gradual process. It's a gradual thing that it takes a while that before people begin to trust you and say, okay, yes, you can be able to do this. So the first thing is to address it internally. Talk to yourself, talk to people, and say, okay, yes, you are no more the same person that was taken over by alcohol. Now you are clean, you are good, you can be able to integrate without fear, and then don't be afraid to try. Trying is what makes it able to. So today he's been able to enter his social or religious sect. Tomorrow he's being given responsibilities to handle, and gradually he will be able to say, okay, actually I can actually do this, and then it continues. But for this second part of stigma, which comes from the external, from the society and people, these things are the things we are trying to address early. We provide sensitization and awareness to people. One of the first things we do is to engage the immediate families of these persons. You know, the truth is, the family is the first point of contact for anybody. And when your family is there for you, it increases that confidence level you have to engage the society. So the saying of charity begins at home is those kind of things that we begin with. So we tend to encourage them to say, okay, please cut down the way you tend to look down on these people. Now, somebody who was addicted is in the house, and then you have younger ones around, you tend to give them more responsibility because you don't trust this person. Try and initiate the process of trust, and with time the person is going to become reliable.
A good number of people will come to me and will say, oh, this child has actually started taking some form of substance. And the first thing is, oh, I mean, my enemies have gotten me. You know, the people who couldn't get me, they have gotten me through my children. And that way they want to go really spiritual. For me as a pastor, I tell people I believe in medication and I believe in ministration. You know, taking some form of medication that will help you does not stop you from praying. You can pray, it is not a problem. Prayer can help you find the right therapist. And you can pray for the therapist to be able to do their job very well in that manner. But whatever it is to be done, I encourage people, if you have prayed and you have fasted, then you need to begin to look at the medical side of things. There are times that the person who is suffering from substance use disorder will need medication. Let it be properly assessed. If the assessment is done, whatever it is that is going on, you know, usually the substance abuse could happen, substance use disorder could happen as a result of imbalance in the level of brain chemicals. And then when there's an imbalance in the level of brain chemicals, you will need another drug to be able to balance it. So assessment must be properly done, and it goes along with prayers. I'm not going to say, oh, don't pray, do not do this. Yeah, fine. You can go ahead and continue to pray for change. But while you check medically, they say doctors will care, it is only God who cures. But we must never take away the medical side of it, because God has given us all the plants, you know, for our consumption. And majority of these, the medicines that we take, they are made from plants created by God.
Coming to the workplace, you find out that the substance abuse can affect the individual, that's the employee now, which will in turn affect the entire organization, because the individual who is the abuser is an integral part of the entire organization. One of the things substance abuse does is the fact that it impairs even the creative aspect of the abuser. So that means that person has an impaired cognitive part of himself or herself, so to speak. So in terms of trying to think through things, in terms of how to concentrate.
And now at the close of Wednesday's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, NGX, a total of 428,443,260 shares were traded in 6,677 deals. This corresponds to a market value of 7,373,014,568 naira and 78 kobo. Compared to the previous NGX trading day, which was Tuesday, Wednesday's data indicates a 13% decline in volume, a 129% improvement in turnover, and a 2% improvement in the number of deals. The current market capitalization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange stands at 39,100 billion naira. In total, 117 equities listed on the NGX participated in trading, concluding with 36 gainers and 15 losers. Unity Bank led the gainers with a 10% share price appreciation, closing at £1.54 per share. This was followed by RT Briscoe, Dar Communications, and Macure Industries. On the losing side, CNI Leasing recorded the highest price depreciation of 7.56% at £5.26 per share. This was followed by Prestige Assurance Company, International Breweries, and UPDC Real Estate Investment Trust. Veritas Capital Assurance recorded the highest trading volume with 60.1 million shares traded, followed by Unity Bank, Guarantee Trust Holding, and United Bank for Africa. And at the conclusion of Wednesday's trading session on the Uganda Securities Exchange, USE, a total of 5,663,350 shares were traded, corresponding to a market value of 153,362,750 Ugandan shillings. Compared with the previous USE trading day, Wednesday's data reflects a 502% improvement in volume and a 223% improvement in turnover. The current market capitalization of the Uganda Securities Exchange is 16.2 trillion Ugandan shillings. In total, 5 equities listed on the USE participated in trading, concluding with 9 gainers and just 1 loser. KCB Group led the gainers with a 4.78% share price appreciation, closing at 502.40 Ugandan shillings per share. This was followed by Stanbic Bank Uganda, Jubilee Holdings, and East African Breweries. The only equity that lost value on the day was Umeme. Bank of Baroda Uganda recorded the highest trading volume with 4.12 million shares traded, followed by Stanbic Bank Uganda, Umeme, and MTN Uganda. And we turn to the commodities market, where the present cost for a single unit of wheat is 558 US cents. Gold is being traded at $1,992.16 US dollars. Silver is valued at $23.62 US dollars. Copper is priced at $3.76 US dollars. And lastly, Brent crude oil is assessed at $79.45 US dollars per barrel. And on that note, we'll call it a wrap on News Hour. I am Alfreda Ambe Basi. Thank you for watching.